Good morning, good people, fellow humans. Uh, well, today is Friday, December 20th, 2024, and it's about 6 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to all. This is Department of Career Services. Our, what is our BMO themo? I'll tell you, are you a lone nut? Okay. I'm going to tell you why I'm chuckling. Yesterday, I was in Las Vegas, went to the dentist. It was an English dentist, and I had a feeling that they wanted to replace for some reason. Don't know why. Good morning, Watabetty, hanging on by our fingertips. I don't know why they needed to replace the filling, but they did. And she's really, there's a far back tooth. When we're done, she said, I nicked your tongue. Just have warm salt water, and in a couple of days it'll be fine. And I will tell you how every time I'm smiling, because every time I speak, I have pain, a little bit of pain, not a lot of pain, just like getting a little maybe push pin or thumbtack in the side. So, yeah, so there's that. I also got my hair cut. Bonk. So that's good. And what not a bevy, how are things in Fort Jacks? So I notice when I'm speaking now, because of my tongue, I'm getting a little bit of moisture on the corners of my lips. Okay, how are things in Fort Jacks, Watabetty? As you're doing that, I'm going to talk about our more blessed than ever. Okay, well, I hope you're not saying that as an affirmation, where if you say it, you'll believe it. More of a Tony Robbins incantation. Boom. Today, something great is going to happen to me. Remember that from a year ago? Today, something great is going to happen to me. It's going to happen to me. Right. Okay. So, welcome, people. This is Department of Career Services. Our goal is to help you on your journey. This is day 5 in week 3 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Not a psychology thing. It's a neuroscience. Had a wonderful day and a wonderful night. Today, something great is going to happen to me today. Good. What? When are you going to Virginia? When is Catherine going to Virginia? What's happening with Lucy? You can tell me that in a personal chat. Okay, so here we are. And again, this daily podcast is designed for people who are not saved and not successful. So if you're saved and or successful, or I should say if you're saved and successful, not for you, but you're welcome, because you might want to see how other people think. That's where we learn. We learn from people who think differently than we do. If we're just around people who think like we think, that's called an echo chamber, echo chamber, echo, 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 chamber, chamber, chamber. So you're welcome here. You are welcome here. Boom. But it's designed for people who are not successful and not saved. Those are the people we're really focused on. Run into a lot of people every day who believe they are saved, and I say, good for you. Great. You're very lucky. I am really feel happy for you that you are saved. Good. My path is a different path. My route to salvation is a little bit different. I know it's by grace. You can't work your way. Okay, I get that. We're not talking about that. So let's move on. Advice from an 80-year-old. 80-year-old advice. Loosen up, relax. Except for rare life and death experiences matters. Nothing is as important as it first seems. That is very true, especially when you look at our life in comparison to the age of the universe. And the age of the universe is not really eternity. I think technically we could say it is eternity because it's all that there is. Time started with the Big Bang. And so eternity would be from the Big Bang till now. That is eternity. Eternity, if you're walking eternity, 13.8 billion years, and each step was 1,000,000 years. Each 3 feet was 1,000,000 years. That would be 1,000,000 divided by, 13 billion divided by 1,000,000 is 13,800 steps times 3 feet divided by 5,280 is 7.84 miles. So that is eternity for us. 7.84 mile walk, about a 2-hour walk. Our life, if you take that 1,000,000 years and divide it by 100, say you live to be 100, that's 1/10,000th. A 10,000th of 36 inches is, I think, 0.004 inches. 0.004 inches, which means it's about the width of 2 hairs on your head. So our life is equal to the width of 2 hairs on our head. Eternity is 7.84 miles. So what does that mean? It's not really, no matter what it is, it's not really that big of a deal. Nothing is as important as it seems. It's going to last less than that. Okay. Time is racing. Yes, time is racing. What does Seth Godin have to tell us today? Important information from Seth Godin. The stories we tell ourselves. If it happened to us, our memory of it is a story. Our record of it with us at the center, right. That's my skull-sized kingdom. Everything revolves around me. Even if it's on video, even if other people were there, our narrative and the content and the play-by-play belong to us. Excuse me. The useful question might be, is my story helpful? And the follow-on could be, is there any other version of the story that might be more hopeful? Right. Stories we tell ourselves. What is the story? It's our record of it. What we tell ourselves. That's the story. We could repeat that to other people if we so desire. So that is Seth Godin. Today, Are You a Lone Nut? Derek Sivers, TED Talk. I'm going to put that in red. Nah, that's okay. Derek Sivers, TED Talks. This is the end of week 3, Outside My Skull-Sized Kingdom. The objective of week 3 is to be able to get people to help you on your journey through this life. Too many people have an attitude of, I don't need anybody. That may technically be true, but it's probably not. It's probably not technically true. You're going to need to go into a store. You're going to need to buy things. You're going to need to deal with people. And the better you are at dealing with people, the better your life will be. But Week 3 is about how do I get people to help me on my journey. Today sums it up. And it really builds on Tuesday's Seth Godin. So on Tuesday, remember, Seth Godin said, okay, how do you tell a compelling? No. He said, how do you nudge people forward? How do you get people to join? First, find something to change. Today's video with Derek Sivers, it's like people on the grassy thing listening to music, maybe watching a concert somewhere off, and they're just on the grass and their little things listening to music. One guy gets up and he starts dancing. Okay, he just changed the status quo. The status quo is everybody sitting on the grass listening to music. He gets up and starts dancing. Now the status quo has changed. Find part of the status quo to change. Next, tell a compelling story. His compelling story was how he was out there dancing, just having fun. That was a compelling, hey, let's have fun. That's a compelling story. Here's a way to have fun. So he gets up and he starts dancing. Step 3 for Derek Sivers was to ask people to join. Who's coming with me? And ignore the non-true believers. So you want to attract, ask look for true believers, people who are going to dance with you, and ignore the others. So he's dancing and other people get up and dance too. One other guy gets up and dances. Derek Sivers refers to him as the first follower. So the first follower gets up. So you now have the guy who was the lone nut, the guy who changed the status quo. He now has a first follower. And he ignores everybody else. He's not, oh, hey, come on, man. Come on, guys. He's just out there doing his thing. He attracts his first follower. The first follower's job is to repeat what the leader's doing, but to get more people. And each of the new people bring in new people. Where the lone nut is just he continues to tell his story. He's just continuing to dance, right? The other guys are now pulling the other people in. And the more people that pull people in, the better it is. Could be like a Fibonacci sequence. Who knows? I don't know. But the more people you have pulling people in, until ultimately it gets to the point where people feel awkward if they don't join. And so it ultimately, virtually everybody comes in unless they really have the guts to be the lone nut, because now the status quo changed, right? So now the status quo was originally everybody sitting on the grass, lone nut, first follower, more followers, and all of a sudden the status quo shifts to everybody's dancing, except there's some lone nuts out there that won't dance. So Derek Sivers does that in a good period of time. That's the goal. That's what you want to do. Find something to change, tell a compelling story, attract the true believers, ignore the non-true believers, and then lead them. Okay, still a little bit of trouble talking. Coffee's too hot for a sensitive tongue. Ba-boom, ba-bing. Let's see, how's that? Water baby. Impermanence, very Buddhist and true. Ba-boom. Okay, so you're leaving Sunday. What about Catman Joe? Very Buddhist. Impermanence. Ego. That's how cults arg. That's how cults arg. That's true. That's how they are. Did that apply to Jesus? Did he find part of the status quo to change? Yes. The people were looking for a change of the status quo. The status quo was Roman rule, oppressive Roman rule. Did he have a compelling story? Yes, love. But other people kept projecting onto the story the Messiah, the Davidic Messiah, the Moses leading them out of the desert, the there's the harsh one that John the Baptist was doing. Repent because the whirlwind is coming. And then there's the wisdom one, the Sophia. So they're looking for somebody to get them out of Roman rule. Bring back the glory that was of Davidic kingdom. Okay, so did he tell a compelling story? Yes, but people projected and added onto the story things that weren't his thing. He wasn't trying to be an earthly king, for example. People were looking for the Messiah wasn't the Christ. It was somebody to get rid of the Romans who was prophesied. Okay, so did he connect the true believers? Yes. Did he ignore the non-true believers? Yes. He said, just dust off your sandals and go to the next town if they don't want to receive you. And finally, did he lead them? Yes. But what? He went just a bit too far. So they tried to stop him, but he was out in Galilee. He's out in the other areas. When he comes to Jerusalem, and when he disrupts the temple, we got problems. We got problems. And so it was very quick. Arrest him, kill him, get it over with. Do it in a very harsh way so that his people will not rise up. Except, oops, he becomes resurrected. Not resuscitated, resurrected. He becomes resurrected. Okay, so where are we at? 17 minutes in. Okay, way overboard. Way overboard. I'm going to say cut. Wadabebi, have a good weekend. Maybe we will talk. I don't know. What is the good time to call you? You can text me. Cut.